So in this customer table, we have five columns. So the degree is 5, and let's see how many records are there. Don't count this heading. Heading is not a record. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 records are there. So the cardinality is 4. So the degree of this customer table is 5 and cardinality is 4. Now let's discuss. I explained MySQL as a relational database management system, RDBMS. What is this relational? Within the database, there may be more than one tables. So look at this example. In this database learner, we have one student table, two participant table, and three activity table. So these tables, three tables are connected. There is some relationship between these three tables. Let's look at the first table. First table contains student name and student ID. Second table, participant table, contains student ID and activity. Then the activity table contains activity and cost. That means it is mentioning about the student details and some activity. Okay, so let's look at the first table and the second table. What is the relationship between these two tables? See, look at this student ID. Here also there is a student ID. So these two tables are connected using this student ID. Let's look at let's look at Lakshmi is participating. We want to know Lakshmi is participating for what all events. Okay, so Lakshmi's ID is 84. So let's look at this participant table and find out 84. Lakshmi is participating for swimming and Lakshmi is participating for dancing. And I want to know how much is the fee need to be paid by Lakshmi. So let's see. The cost is mentioned in the activity table. So Lakshmi is doing swimming and dancing. So let's see. For swimming, 2000, and for dancing 1500. So I can find out that for total 3500 need to be paid by Lakshmi. So there is a relationship between these tables. Table means two-dimensional representation of data in rows and columns. So here inside this database, there is three tables. All these tables are connected. Such a database system is we call relational database. And MySQL, we can say it as RDBMS. It's a software used to maintain and create and maintain this relational databases. Now, let's come to an important concept, that is we have four key concepts need to be studied. One is candidate key, second primary key, alternative key, and one more is there foreign key. Foreign key let's discuss afterwards. Let's come to a candidate key. Before coming into this, I want to mention what is this key. Key means an attribute or a combination of attributes. An attribute or a combination of an attribute. Attribute means a column or field and a combination. More than one column can be combined together. That is mentioned by the word key. So, what is this candidate key? See, if our records, if we can uniquely identify a record of a table, such a key is called a candidate key. Any key which is capable of becoming, which can uniquely identify the records, such a key is called candidate key. Then, in other words, you can say candidate key which is capable, any key which is capable of becoming the primary key. So let's see what is the criteria for primary key. Primary key is the one and only one key that can uniquely identify the records. Okay, so any key which can uniquely identify the record. We call it candidate key. For a election, there will be 4 or 5 candidates. Candidates means who are capable of becoming an MLA or MP. Such a person we call is candidate. But only one person can become the MLA or MP. Here also, there may be more than one candidate key, but only one key can become the primary key. Out of that, one can become the primary key. Then rest of the keys we call it by another name, that is alternative key. Rest of the key, one will be out of the candidate key, one will be selected as the primary key. Rest of the keys we call it candidate key. So one more thing I need to mention here, that is composite primary key. Composite primary key means if we are combining more than one key, more than one field to form a key, then such a primary key is called the composite primary key. That means primary key which consists of more than one attribute. More than one attribute. Such a primary key we can call it as composite primary key. Let's see an example for this. Let's consider the bank account. For each customer, there is an account number, then name, permanent address, then communication address, phone number, Aadhaar number, and PAN number. Suppose in a table we are storing these customer details. Then when we look at these fields, which one is the uniquely identifying key? Let's look at our customer number. Definitely we can uniquely identify each customer. For a customer with a account number, you can say this account number is of this person. There is no duplication. That is the meaning. Okay. When we name definitely duplication may happen. Permanent address also duplicated. My family member can have the account on the same bank, so that is also duplication possible. Phone number, if each one of the person have our own phone mobile number, then definitely we can take this phone number also as primary key, candidate key. Then that's the based on a condition, but in India it's not possible, right? So if you are starting an account for a minor, definitely all the children have that phone number, right? So in that case we can't say that. Okay. Aadhaar number, definitely for each person there is a Aadhaar number. PAN number is also for each person, it is uniquely identifying. But okay, so out of this I can select account number as the primary key. Phone number I am taking based on an assumption. Then Aadhaar number definitely, and PAN number also uniquely identifying. When we consider the bank, definitely they will take the account number as the primary key. Out of this, I am assuming 4 candidate keys. Out of that, one can become the primary key. So here we are selecting the account number as the primary key. Then rest of the candidate keys, that means the phone number, Aadhaar number, and the PAN number, we can say it as alternative key. Let's consider another example, that is based on a student table. Our student account number, admission number, name, roll number, class, division, marks are there. So when we look at, definitely for each and every student there is an admission number. Roll number, it seemed to be unique, but there is one problem. Suppose our school have 40 classes, for roll number 5 is there in all these 40 classes, so we can't take that as uniquely, but a combination of roll number plus class plus division can be treated as a primary key. Okay, so if we are considering this as the primary key, you can say this as a composite primary key. So in this case, I am taking primary key as admission number as the primary key. Then this roll number plus class plus division, I can take it as alternative key. So this as the basic concepts coming. And I am introducing the MySQL. It's a structured query